Hey guys, welcome back to Tay Talk. This is Khai.
And this is Tiara.
And you are joining us for the 4th episode of Tay Talk.
Yeah, and before we begin, we just like to take note that it is the month of Ramadan. So Ramadan Mubarak to all of our Muslim friends and followers. May this month bring you much peace and blessings. And please stay home as per usual and do your ibadah and your obligatory responsibilities at home.
Yep. Guys, today's episode is going to be quite juicy because not only are we bringing in one guest,
we are bringing in two guests.
And these two guests will be the first guest in our podcast.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm quite excited for this.
Exactly.
Also, today's episode is all about something which have been stirring on our social media for the past few days, for at least 3 days.
Yeah.
Even today, when we woke up for our sahur, right away, there was a press statement that got released by Berita Harian. Berita Harian is, by the way, the Malay newspaper
in Singapore.
And it was released at a time of when everyone probably wakes up during sahur. Sahur is
pre-dawn meal.
Yeah, this is the breakfast before we start our fasting. There has been an update to the Berita Harian article that got published on the wee morning of 25th of April, as this podcast episode was recorded before the release of the updated article, which was released at 10:29 p.m. on the 25th of April 2020, which says there will be a fine of $1,000 for any home-based sellers who do not follow the imposed guidelines. Again, we highly recommend that should you want to continue operations, email or call the authorities to get a solid black and white before commencing your respective businesses. Okay, back to the show. And in that press statement, it was kind of like a big deal.
Yeah.
Because the header, kind of like made some conclusions to what has already been talked about for these past few days. And we were hoping that that article, that press release kind of like settle the entire debate on whether or not it can happen or it shouldn't happen. Okay, just to give you guys a little bit of an overview on what we are talking about. You want to take this?
All right, so here's the tea. Can you get it? The plan, we are tea talk.
Yeah, spill the tea, sis.
Yeah, so here's the tea. Over the last couple of days, I think this is more apparent in the Malay Muslim community right now, not because of anything, but it's just due to the fact that it's Ramadan and this is the time where people will start taking orders for dessert, for kuih and everything.
And also this stems out just right after PM's latest announcement for the extension of the circuit breaker.
Yeah, and I think they tightened the circuit breaker rules a little bit, I think sometime last week. So yes, this came out of that. But anyway, over the last couple of days, we've seen talks online on our socials about this whole idea of home bakery. Whether or not they can still, continue their business during this circuit breaker period. Well, TLDR, someone made a statement, I guess with the intention to help home bakers. And it actually spiraled out of control. Yeah. It basically opened up a can of worms.
Yeah. And I don't know whether we're just going to give this person some benefit of doubt, right? That all she was trying to do is something good.
Yeah, she just wanted to educate. She just wanted to find a way out for homemakers. We do not know. But yeah, I think it just spiraled out of control, and instead of making things better, unfortunately, it took a turn for somewhat the worst because now it's just like yes or no, can or cannot. And a lot of home bakers are very, very affected by this. So if you live in Singapore, I'm pretty sure you have purchased food items from home-based businesses, be it like kuih, cakes, dessert, Some even sell like sambal at home, pre-ready or pre-made sauces, all this, right? So during this period, everyone just starts supporting their home bakeries and everything. So yeah, this is the kind of the culture that we have here in Singapore, and this is actually the time where a lot of them actually earn the most because they will get a lot of orders, and there's the demand there. And also another thing is home bakers, majority of them, I mean, not to just stereotype like by race or by gender, there are so many, but a lot of them actually start doing this because they, number one, either want to earn extra income, or number two, this is their actual livelihood.
Yeah.
And it's especially apparent for young moms, because some of them prefer to, focus their time at home to spend time nurturing the children, and at the same time they dabble into the world of business. They bake or they cook, and the money that they earn from it is their additional cash for maybe like their child's tuition or expenses for the house and all that. So this is actually people's real job. Like if you and I go to work to an office and get paid at the end of the month, this is their job. This is their work from home. So you can imagine the panic that arose from this thing, amongst the home bakers. And again, I'm just going to emphasize that there are also Chinese Chinese bakeries or home bakeries, Chinese small business, Indian, all these. Everyone, like the muruku and everything. Everyone, I think this, but especially right now during the Ramadan period, that's why there's majority of the talks are actually from or by Malay Muslim.
Yep, of course.
bakers.
And the both of us, we often order, from these small home bakers as well.
Yeah.
Not to put like a negative annotation to small. By small, we mean, they are operating at homes.
Yeah.
Right? And they are not some sort of like having an empire, physical offices and building a baking empire. Not like that. But by small, I mean, we mean that they are all operating in their own homes. And yes, like what you said, it's a lot of all of these businesses that's already affected because they are all very panicky right now.
Yeah.
Don't really know where to go because they've gotten a lot of information, misinformation from different sources saying that, yes, you can do it, or no, you cannot do it. And it doesn't help that people are posting email correspondence, personal email correspondence on whatever they have been corresponding with. For example, I don't know, MTI, IC correspondence, HDB, Enterprise Singapore. And to me, this is all PDPA stuff.
Correct.
You shouldn't be
that.
circulating all your personal correspondence to all these authorities, right? And this will actually not really help anyone. It's just to stir more panic, more chaos.
I think the whole issue is that number one is uncertainty, and number two is just confusion because everyone's saying different things, and it's just I really really do empathize with all of the home bakers, because I cannot imagine having my livelihood being like not certain. And the worst part is that some of them actually already pre-purchase
all the ingredients
to create and to bake and to make and everything. Then like they are just looking at their shelves now, thinking like, what am I going to do with this?
Thinking of what they're going to do with it is one thing, but
how they can earn back,
or rather the refunds that people were demanding, and this will take a whole lot out of their savings.
Well, I mean, there are some who have, to be honest, from my experience, like, because I do have contacts and friends in who are affected by this, from my experience, they have not requested for refunds. So I do not know to the extent of the number of customers who have requested for refunds, but yeah, I can only imagine the pain that you have to go through to give back the refunds.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't really help that back to where we started this episode, we were talking about the Berita Harian press statement.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, that has got to be the worst article that I've seen trying to go ahead and address this uncertainty.
I think it just left people with even more questions.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, you said this, but then in your article it said something else. So what is it? So it actually left everyone still very
You're
confused.
huh? So can or not? Can or not? And okay, here's the thing. The headline states, all home bakings has to cease operations.
Yeah.
That was the headline.
Yeah.
And then if you were to read the content, it says something else.
Yeah.
It says that, okay, these are the guidelines that HDB has in place. You cannot, if you want to continue your operations, you need to adhere to all these guidelines.
Yeah.
Number one, you need to make sure that all your delivery is not using third-party delivery.
Yeah.
All right. So if you have to deliver your food out, you need to use your own. If you have already maybe your husband or your son or your brother who's already delivering for you before this thing starts, that is your delivery guy.
Yeah.
All right. And
so basically it's just what they're trying to say for me lah. My understanding is that because correct me if I'm wrong, if you use third-party delivery company, for example, they will never send the same delivery guys to collect.
yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So actually if you have a state, like your delivery guy, like you go to this guy only, he's the only one.
Yep.
Then I don't know, this is just what our understanding is. But I think in general, it's just very floofy. Like, it's like, you can do this, but like actually cannot, but it's just there's a lot of gray area that nobody is talking about. And everyone's just trying to dig up for information, asking the different irrelevant people sometimes.
Yep. But also then it also poses another different challenge to bakers who do not have any vehicles, Say, for example, the husband or the brother or the son who's living in the same household, they don't drive, they don't ride. So they don't have any form of vehicles to help with the delivery. So this is another form of challenge. So if you don't have that, then one of your option is already out. Now, the second thing was that in the guideline, it says that customers cannot do their own pickups. Okay, so if you, in your previous orders, you were telling the bakers that I want to do self-collection. Now you can't do it anymore because the guideline clearly states that no pickup is supposed to happen. Why? Again, it brings back to this entire COVID-19 precautionary measures. Government, as much as possible, they want you to stay at home. And if you were to go out and get your delivery, you are risking yourself and the person who is baking for you as well, right? And then the third thing is all your business has to be conducted online. You cannot have, like a person-to-person kind of consultation, or you meet someone up and have a quick meeting under the void deck. I don't know. As long as it is not person-to-person, as long as everything is online, contactless, it is permitted. Yep. So those are the three things that has been outlined by HDB in their website. And as long as, this is from our understanding, that as long as you meet all these guidelines, your operation does not have to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, again, just to be clear, we have had countless conversations about this privately, and this is just what we understand from like the HDB website and the article that we have read. But if you are a home baker and you feel otherwise and you do not want to take any risk, then that is your choice. We are not here to force you to listen to us. Well, kind of, I'm forcing to listen to us podcast lah.
Yeah,
but
you need to listen to us.
Yeah, it's in a way whereby please support us by listening to our podcast, but not in a way whereby, I'm doing this because Khai and Tiara tell me. Like, we are not doing that. We are just giving you guys our opinion and what we understand as far as what we know, because number one, we are not the government. Number two, we are not HDB or MTI or whoever. We are just two people who have been observing, and we have people in the community who are affected by this, and that's why we feel very strongly to have a chat about it.
Yeah, but it's okay because there's nowhere on any website, government website, HDB, Enterprise Singapore, MTI, that clearly states home bakers has to cease operations.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why we got very worked up about it. Well, not really worked up, but it's just that, unlike safe distancing and the mandatory need to wear masks outside, which was very clearly, obviously stated in the press and on government websites and all that, There was none about this.
Yeah.
So like it makes us question if there is no official advisory, we would just assume that as long as we take the necessary precautions, it should be fine.
Yeah.
And you carry on that point to the fact that, it's those kind of things where if nobody is talking about it, you just keep quiet.
Yeah. I was under the impression that, everything, all of this, as long as you don't stir the pot,
Yes.
you don't stir, I would say you don't stir shit.
Yeah.
Things will go well. No one complains. No one will
Yeah.
ask the authorities on, hey, is this permitted or is this allowed or blah, 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 blah. If no one ever asked, no one poked.
Yeah, we wouldn't be having this
Yes,
conversation.
no. This entire thing wouldn't happen.
Yeah. So I think following up on that point, I think that's also why majority or a lot of homemakers are frustrated.
Yeah. It's the same as having cats, right? You have a cat at home. It clearly states, in the HDB website, it clearly states that cats are not allowed in HDB homes. But there are thousands of people who still keep cats as their pets. The only thing that HDB will act on, will enforce, is that someone complains.
Yeah.
So if your neighbors probably don't like you, probably don't like your face, and don't like your attitude, and he or she knows that you are having a cat, and if he or she is being malicious, he or she can just call up HDB and say, hey, my neighbor got cat. Very smelly one, Every time pee, then the urine smell goes into my house. Then when I want to eat, I always smell the urine smell. This is not good for my livelihood and my families, Can you guys please do something about it? Yes.
Then of course they will do something about it, right?
Yeah. So again, it all depends on what kind of shit you stir.
Yeah.
If you don't stir shit, nothing will happen.
Yeah.
If you do stir shit, yes, these kind of things will spiral out of proportion and get everyone who's in the business involved as well.
Correct. And also during the announcement, I think one of the announcement was that dessert places, aka like for example your donut shops and stuff, those are affected. They are not considered essential services. So I think the worry stemmed from there. And then but because they are not, they don't have a shop, usually home bakers operate from home with minimum, quantity. So technically they were kind of safe. But then now they are still in limbo. I think the terminology would be like they're in limbo. They're like, do I still do this? Do I still not?
Yeah.
What will happen if I do? What if I don't? It's like it really just putting people in a very
Difficult.
uncomfortable and unrested position.
Yeah. I personally hope that the home bakers, they don't stop their business, because I still want to order my food.
Yeah.
I cannot just be depending on myself
GrabFood.
or GrabFood,
Yeah.
or I don't know, any businesses that has already closed because of the extension of circuit breaker.
Yeah.
I cannot depend on them anymore.
Yeah. And the thing is, we understand that there's always a risk, because, COVID spreads by water droplets and whatever not, right? But I don't know. I think in times like this, it is when we should support each other even more.
Exactly.
Exactly. And I don't know, maybe I'm jaded or something by all of this COVID news. But honestly, home bakers, ordering from them and seeing my baker friends sharing the love of their bakes with other people, their customers, all right. It makes me feel very happy. And to be honest, like when I get bakes from my friends, either whether I order or they just give it to me out of their kindness, right? During this period, I feel very happy. Like it gives me a perk because I'm really so I'm
exactly.
home.
Yeah. And I think also because of the Ramadan period, this is the time where we often have a little bit of extra food, to share things around.
Yeah, correct.
Because every day, if it's not Ramadan, it's usually normal food, right? Normal dishes that got cooked, and but because during the Ramadan time, this is when we do a lot of communal eating,
Correct.
Like 5-6 people in a family dining together. And when you see this kind of a little bit of special food, just surfacing on your dinner table, it kind of like bring the entire mood to a different level.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. So I really, really hope that the home bakers, they don't stop their operations because of just some viral thing that happened and spiraled out of proportion, which again did not benefit anyone.
Yeah, I mean, because right now it's still wishy-washy. I'm going to use this term a lot, fluffy, limbo, wishy-washy, because that's what this situation is.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
exactly.
seeing right now. It's very wishy-washy. For both of us, I think we have advised our friends, if they are confident about their safety, like, taking the necessary precaution and all that, we would just recommend them to carry on until there is like a legit on TV advisory telling you like all homemakers have to stop, then you stop.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's a clear law, it's a clear directive, because right now it's not really a directive, it's just like, you can if you do this, but if you don't, then figure it out,
Yeah.
And and another thing also is, for those of you who have actually placed your orders with home bakers, I strongly, or rather both of us strongly urge you and recommend for you not to cancel your orders.
Yeah. Please don't. Please don't.
Unless there is an advisory that eventually comes out, I recommend for you not to cancel your orders, because you have to bear in mind that nobody wants to be in this situation, Nobody asks for this thing to happen. Nobody asked for the circuit breaker extension and for these tightened measures. Nobody asked for it. And these people, seriously, they're just, if you do not want the food, or if you like no mood, or no raya, what for I need to have kuih, right? Think of it, you know what? Just think of it as your deed during this Ramadan.
Yeah.
Because you are helping. Maybe it may not help you because number one, maybe you are not interested anymore. Maybe you think that it's going to be a food waste and everything. But just take it as you are helping other people to use that money that they are going to earn, right, on something else that means so much to them, like their children. Don't do this to people. Like, even if you don't want their baked goods, like if you cannot finish, share it. I don't know, like save it, freeze it. There's always ways, but your intention, your niyat, I think I highly recommend you to change that mindset, to look at it in a way whereby this is my chance to help other people. Never mind. You know what? I am so close. Personally, I'm just so close to, like, if I had so much money, I would, like, whoever whose orders kena cancel, right? Like, come, you don't have to.
You take over.
I just take over. I'll just come. I will take and buy from you. Whether or not I finish or not, it's okay.
Yeah.
And if, let's say, you have ingredients that, you are still able to keep for, like, maybe in the next couple of months, don't have to make for anything. Just take my money.
Yeah.
Just take my money. Like, you cannot, I find like, you during this month, right, don't be selfish with your worldly possessions. This is not the time.
Yep.
Like, the more you have, the more you should give, not the more you should keep. And
Exactly.
I think for me, that is my mentality. Like, if I earn billions of dollars or something, seriously, if I could help anyone, just no need. If you want to bake for me and I pay you, can. You want to keep your ingredients, also can. I just give you the money, because I don't want to see people suffer like this.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Yeah. And to add on to what you just said, okay, look at the equation like this. Guys, if you were to order your stuff from a home baker, you order, say, an entire cake, right? The home baker then goes to the market and buy the raw ingredients to make your cake. So go to the market, to whoever's selling the ingredients seller earns some money. The homemaker then makes your entire cake and then gets a courier guy to go and send. The courier guy makes money. And then when you eventually have the cake to yourself, one whole full circle has been drawn, right? So by you ordering, you are actually helping the home baker. You are actually helping the one who sells the ingredients.
Yeah.
You're also helping the guy who delivers it. So by doing this, you are actually subconsciously helping a lot of people.
Exactly. Yes. There needs to be a shift in mentality on how you view these kind of things. and not just quickly jump the gun. I'm like, sorry, I think I want to cancel my order because got no raya. I cannot. What for? I have a lot of kuih, right? Cannot like that, guys. Come on, we are all better than this.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, we are all better than this. Just spare a thought for these people, and somehow they spend their time, their effort, and their expertise
to make sure you get your what you
all of
ordered.
these, and some of them pay for classes to learn how to do it. Some have spent years trying to perfect their craft. Like, have respect for these people lah.
Exactly. And to also get some of these home bakers involved, we have decided to call in two of home bakers. They're very popular, by the way. The first one, this brand has been one of the rising stars for the past few months, okay? Because I look at their followers count, right? It keeps rising and rising and rising. Very popular with their heavenly mini bread pudding, tasty carrot cake bites, tantalizing Nutella cheese tarts. Oh my God. While saying this, I'm really salivating. And
sesungguhnya kamu berpuasa.
Yes, and my personal favorite, the zesty and enchanting lemon meringue pie. Oh my God, that meringue pie, that meringue pie is super, super good.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's not too sour. It's not too sweet, and the crust it's just perfect. It's perfection.
My personal favorite.
Yeah.
They have a following currently, 3,786 and counting. It's a husband and wife business. The husband normally does the delivery, of course, while she bakes. And the owner is Suhana Slamat. Guys, presenting to you the home baker, Petite Purplicious. All right, Suhana, thank you for joining us in this very special episode. Whether you know or not, you are the first guest in our show. Woo-hoo!
Thank you.
First guest. Okay, so just now I was telling our listeners on how big of a brand you have become. You are like the rising star in the home baking business right now. Super, super excited to see what else you have prepared or what you are going to offer to customers
in the
future. I just want to highlight something. Your lemon meringue.
Oh my God.
How is it so nice?
I don't know. I got this recipe from somewhere. I couldn't remember. And then started out when I was at Jurong House, and then I told a lot of times with the recipe because I really prefer it to be sugar reduced. And the meringue was actually from this Adlina who keep on buzzing about, put the meringue on.
Oh.
Wait, Adlina as in
our Adlina?
Adlina Anis?
Yeah.
Oh, she was the one who bugged you for the meringue on top of the lemon tart.
Yeah, without that, it was actually without the meringue. So she kept on biting about, put the meringue on. And I was like, okay, fine. So I put the meringue on. It was a hit.
Woohoo, yeah, oh my God. We love it, Nana.
Yeah,
we
that's
love
like
it.
the best thing ever. Oh my
It's
God.
like my favorite.
Yeah.
Your meringue, your lemon meringue is my favorite lemon meringue tart. Like no other cafes can do lemon meringue like
none.
you. Because it is not so sweet, it is not too sour. It's just like the perfect balance, and I love it.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. But the funny thing is, that is one of the favorite or the hot items. But when it comes to the booth, it's dead. Funny, right?
It doesn't do as well as like when people order lah. Maybe people want to order like for their own. I don't know. That's
more
interesting.
to chocolatey stuff, maybe. So
That's
lemon
interesting.
for them is like, something new for them. But
Maybe
it's always been a hit. Yeah.
Okay, let's set the record straight. Okay, guys, if you were to go to any booth that has Petite Purplicious label, okay, and you were to see the lemon meringue displayed, you have to try it.
Yeah,
It's
please try
damn
it.
fantastic.
It's really good. You're losing out if you don't try.
Yeah, it's like one of the things that you regret, when you die if you don't try.
Wow, so deep.
Okay, so just now we were talking about this entire COVID-19 and home businesses. Okay, we also like to ask you, how has your business been affected amidst the COVID-19 period?
We have been affected a lot. I don't know whether to say it badly. I don't want to say it badly because I still have my customers who still supporting me from behind and then still keep me encouraging words. So I don't say it sadly. I just say it has been affected, of course.
These past few days, we have been going around and looking at a lot of viral feed, that's happening to the home base bakers. And the virus is COVID-19 lah, of course, right? But
Yeah.
the viral post that has been started by someone, I'm sure you are quite frustrated by the entire thing. So from your view, from your personal view, can you share more on this frustration?
Okay, COVID-19 has really has made such a big impact on our business.
Yeah.
Before this, we can have booths, we have big sales and everything.
Yeah.
But because of these things, we minimize. And then our big sales goes on. But after this virus of this person, it got even worse. I feel the fact that's been stated is true, is correct. Some bakers also shared with me this and this of whatever they stated with this person and even by the board. But the only thing that frustrated me, we don't have to tell us how to do our job. Like do a refund or whatever, or what are we supposed to do. You can just state whatever rules are supposed to be stated or how are we supposed to follow our guidelines or whatever. But you don't have to go beyond that on how to do our job, on how are we supposed to communicate with our customers to assure them about their orders or anything, or to do whatever that is to be done, to do refund or to delay the baking, or to delay the delivery or whatever.
Right.
This Raya is in 1 month's time. Any Raya is 1 month.
Yeah.
But she just should stop at where she should stop.
Right.
That what? Yeah.
What would you? Sorry. Yeah. Continue.
Yeah. Because you see, home base is not just us only, but it also involves the couriers. Without us, the couriers also will be affected.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And then even like this is a whole cycle from the baking shop, from us, from everything, it is just a whole financial, should I say, cycle. Like, yeah.
That's a nice way to put it, because actually, interestingly enough, before we jump into the call with you, Karun actually talked about that cycle, the same cycle. Like, it is the exact same thing, and we think that, it's a valid point.
Like what Tiara said, we were talking about it just now, this entire full circle, starting from your orders, customer order from you, and then you going to the shop to buy the ingredients, and then you bring back, you make the cakes for them, and then you engage the courier take the cakes from you and to deliver to the customer. And it's all a full circle.
It's an economic effect.
Yeah,
yes, correct.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not just us. Okay, maybe we have one spouse that's still working, and maybe and to some, both spouses are not working, and so they depend on this. You see the rise of home bakers are going up. It's because of they are both not working and they depend on this.
Yeah.
And for one person to bring this up and just kind of like hold us down, it's really frustrating. I'm sure that some of us are crying, emotional, stressed, and everything. But then, I really don't know what else to say.
Okay, so right, with regards to, this person who mentioned whatever that she mentioned, right? If let's say the roles were reversed, like what would you think would have helped the home bakers instead? Like, instead of her saying whatever she said, like what would you think as a home baker you would have accepted in terms of her messaging? For example, like what is something that you would think will be reasonable advice, or maybe words of encouragement or something? Like, how do you think, what would your ideal messaging be if you were her to advise home bakers?
If I were to be on her side, I wouldn't say anything. I would just say, okay, if someone were to approach me about, hey, how about these measures, or is it like COVID-19 or about home base, can we still go on? let's go to the website and just give them the rules and just let them figure out themselves. I'm sure there's a lot of bots that will come like help us, the rules or whatever. I think there's one coach also came out from FB to do her live and everything. So maybe we can engage her or come like ask her for advice on how to go about it. But if you don't have any much knowledge, don't go even further to even ask me how to kind of like do our work.
So you would have rather, the topic just be avoided at all lah. I mean, entirely, is it?
Not really avoided. If someone were to approach her to ask about what will happen to us only, go straight to the website, get the info for them, and then just go personally to them.
Okay.
Yeah. No need to go live.
Right.
I'm sure that there will be other bakers who come like go. I mean, we are just a small community. These messages will go pass to us, and then we will come like extract and extract and how to come like go about on our business.
Right. Would you have accepted? Just imagine if that message was being sent or it was being done by a fellow home baker. Would it have been easier for you to accept that kind of announcement or that kind of video because they are also in the same boat as you?
Okay, maybe if it comes from a home baker, he may have a better knowledge on how we are supposed to do things. As far as for now, at this period of time, most of our ingredients are already being bought. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So actually, to suggest a 50-50 refund, I think she's just taking away every single thing. Because let's say, okay, this person bought from us $50. But for us to refund, it's not really, okay, I give you back your $50. It will be a minus $100 from us because of the items that we bought.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I see it now.
The amount that customer already paid us, and then we have to pay them that $50, including with the delivery charges. Okay, delivery charges you only pay once delivered. You have to know that the ingredients that we already bought is already sitting at our house. So $50 is go back to the customer, but it's minus $100 from our own account.
Yeah.
Some of the bakers, their stocks are piling up, just to come like fulfill and to make our customers happy, from our bit.
Yeah, that's terrible, huh?
Yeah. And I saw one of the baker because of this panic buying. They sanggup, call DHL to come like to buy the supplies overseas.
Oh
and
my goodness. So she spent extra just to get items to be delivered to her from overseas for this.
Yeah.
Aiyo.
Because some of the bakers, not only just to the customers only, some of them, as in like part of it, they will come like, go to some of the shops that already have to collab with. Just imagine that it's a double whammy,
Yeah, I understand.
That's a whole lot worse than how the situation has been presented.
Yeah, I mean, this is why we wanted to call like some bakers in to have a chat because on our end we are also not bakers, so we do not know how detrimental this thing.
The real side of the story,
correct. So now that you share with us, like it gives us. We hope that it has shed some light to us to understand a little bit more, and we hope that it will shed some light to our listeners also to see how the situation is like. But thanks for sharing with us.
Thank you for sharing, Nana.
And
Thank you for sharing, Suhana.
Sure. Okay, last one, right? I think maybe if there are other home bakers that you are very personally close to, like what do you want to say to them? Maybe you can just give them some words of encouragement or something.
Just hang on there. I'm sure that we will go through this together. Hopefully, our followers and our customers has always been really nice to us, has always been backing us. Hang on there also. I'm sure after all this, you will still enjoy our bake, and inshallah we also come up with new ideas, new recipes, new items for you to try and get you guys on to us again after this COVID-19.
Nana, kau nak buat aku nangis ah?
Aku
sedih.
I know. I don't know how many times I've been crying, but I mean seriously, it's just tired.
Oh my God. But the only thing that you guys can do right now is just to stay positive and in the community, just be as one.
Yeah, support one
Right?
another.
Support one another, yeah.
And just cheer each other on.
Hey, thank you again, Suhana, for sharing all that you can share with us in this episode. Again, guys, if you have not checked Petite Purplicious out, do check them out. You can just go to their Instagram profile. All the details you can find in Petite Purplicious Instagram.
Thanks, Suhana.
Thanks, Suhana. We'll catch up in another episode, right?
Inshallah.
Yeah,
Inshallah. All right. Take care.
Bye.
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 Okay, that has been Suhana Slamat from Petite Purplicious. Guys, her desserts are awesome.
Yeah, they're
Totally
really nice.
awesome.
Sorry, I just got really semi-emotional just now because I could really feel her
Frustrations?
her, not just her frustration, but I think above all is just like disappointment because not only she cannot do her bakes as much as she wanted to feed other people.
Yeah.
It's like
It's also feeding her own family, right?
Yeah.
From
so
all the income.
I could really feel it, and I can only imagine all the other homemakers who are affected by this also.
All right, the next baker, it's run by husband and wife, Hadi and Wahida. This brand is known for their pavlovas.
Oh my god, their pavlovas are the best pavlovas I've tried. I know I always say this, but yes, just now also I say, but it's really very true.
It's true, right?
It's true. It's
Yep.
legit true.
It's like 1-star Michelin level
Correct.
of pavlovas.
And they do pavlova towers and cakes as well for weddings, which, fun fact, our wedding cake at my wedding reception at my site it was by this
By
home
Meraki.
baker. Yeah.
All right, and they have a following of 7,589 and counting, guys.
Yeah.
7,589. That is like
Almost
10,
10K.
maybe 10 times of what I have right now.
That's true.
Oh my God, I suck. All right, presenting to you Meraki by D&D, Miss Wahida Samad. Hello, Wahida.
Hi. Okay, what's up, guys?
No, we should be asking you that question. What's up with you?
Oh yeah, what's up? What's up?
I'm a mess. No lah. Just kidding.
Oh.
Wow, that's very straightforward.
I'm still like replying messages from my friends and family because okay, I woke up at 1 today and then I woke up to like a swarm of messages like, Why are you okay? Like, are you affected? Are you doing well? Like, what are you gonna do next? And then I'm still replying to like different people, you know, because conversations with different people are different, right?
It doesn't help that now you have to entertain us also, right?
It's like, can you imagine all of the messages people ask her like, oh my god, are you okay? Then say, hi, we are going to do a podcast. You want to join?
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, such a great friend.
No lah, I'm glad that you guys are doing it because
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thanks.
it's one thing is, I mean, like it's a good topic. It's in trend. I mean, it's keeping up with the current times.
Yeah, media.
At the same time, I think it can provide more clarity or like give people different perspectives. Because okay lah, like for me, I think I will tell you guys like how I see it.
Sure.
2 different ways. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So
Okay, but before we jump into all the juicy stuff, right? Can you share with us how is it possible that your pavlovas are like 1-star Michelin level kind?
Can you not angkat me right now?
No. This is not angkating. This is not like trying to curry favor with you. This is real. Like
It's
how is it
truth.
possible?
I don't know. I will practice, I guess, because to be honest, to this day, I don't know how to answer this question. I get it during my classes, you know. I recently taught a few Pavlova classes, right, with Fitness SG, and then some of the students, they come. Meringue technique is quite tricky because there is a lot of things to it, like no egg yolk inside, no liquid, no fat, no butter, no oil, no nothing. And then because if not, it will ruin the batter. The batter cannot rise. It cannot puff up in the oven to be a meringue. But it is quite tricky. But I guess for me, it's years and years of practice, because I think if I go way back, right, I mean, I think Tiara would have seen the pictures of my first few pavlovas.
Yes.
It was horrible.
It's not
And
that
I'm
bad.
so embarrassed. But I'm so embarrassed about it till now. Like, you know, when memories pop up, and then like people, you know, sometimes people send to me like, hey, Waida, remember your first pavlova? Then I'm like, no, not associated with me, please, thank you. Yeah, but and then after that, I went for classes, and then I watched some videos online. I went for actual classes lah, and a lot of practice lah. I've been doing this for like 6-7 years already.
Must be what the old wives they were saying
air
lah.
tangan,
You know, yeah,
air tangan,
it's the
is it?
sweat, you know, that goes into the making of the pavlovas.
Sweat.
Yeah, it's a sweat.
Maybe you might never know. You know, I can bake from my own kitchen.
Whoa.
Sometimes I joke about it, like aku kangkang pavlova aku. No, I mean sometimes I joke, but I don't.
Disclaimer:
I don't
she never kangkang her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
never.
No such thing,
Yeah,
Astaghfirullahalazim.
blah blah Ramadan ni.
Okay, so let's get into the
The
main
juicy
gist,
bits.
the main gist of this chat. So I'm sure you're aware of whatever that has been happening over the last couple of days, and we just wanted to check with you or like find out from you. But before that, like in general, since COVID started, how has business been like for you?
Since COVID started, okay, it went two ways for me, because at first when the pandemic was getting worse, then slowly I started seeing that my wedding assignments got affected. So I also do wedding cakes, wedding pavlova. Yeah, and April was supposed to be a full month for me, and but you know, we can only plan, but then at the end of the day, Allah knows better. And what happened was, one by one, all my weddings started getting postponed. Some cancelled at the last minute. Like imagine, like today is Thursday, the weekend is their wedding, and it's cancelled. Like on Thursday, then they tell me, oh, here's the update, I'm not having my wedding. Yeah. So because you know, when COVID started happening, it went like in stages, right, or phases. It was at first like 250 people, and then 10 people, you know. So all these people having weddings, they also didn't know whether they can continue or not. And then now the thing is, we don't know when this will last until. So for now, my wedding up till June or July has been postponed. But the August till the end of the year are still pending. So of course, that business-wise, that is affected, because all these weddings that have been postponed, they have to have it at some point or another, maybe in 2021 or end of this year. Yeah, because some of them postponed to the next year already. And I have to, it means when people postpone, it means that I have to keep that date available to them, because after all, they have made their deposit.
Right.
And they are priority, because they didn't ask for this one, right?
Yeah, correct.
So if I postpone theirs and then chop another date next year for them, which means that date next year is not available to any new clients lah. So in a way, it kind of affects your revenue and stuff. But I don't make a huge deal out of it, because you know, if someone's wedding, it's already said that they are affected by it, and nobody wants a postponed wedding actually.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to go with it, right? So yeah, and I wasn't at first I thought like, oh, there's no wedding assignment. For me, I won't get the balance payment, so my income was affected. But after that, actually I was very disheartened by it, and I was talking to Hadi about it. So yeah, my disclaimer, Hadi is my husband. Then I was talking to him about it, and I said I don't know what to do, because Merathi focused on weddings for a long time, for about a few years. And now that is taken away, what should I do? Then he says, you know, you can still take in orders, right? Like normal personal orders. Then I haven't done this in a long time, because the whole trend for Instagram bakers honestly, to me, in my opinion, is gone. It's maybe, I mean, even if you look at some popular bakery shops out there, their queues are not as long anymore. There's this like what Instagram hype is. So you will get all the queues and all the lines and the customers during like maybe the first few months. But after that, you know, if you're good, people will come back for more. But if you're not good, then you know, like it will show lah. And for me, with a rise in home bakers, of course there's like competition out there. So I wasn't really doing, and I asked him, people eat pavlovas every day, meh? Yeah, you know, like people want to eat pavlova every day. Yes. Then he said, you know,
Yes, I want it in every of my meals.
What? But you know, I thought of it that way, and Hadi told me, no, you know what? Like, why don't you try? Why don't you see what happens? Open up more orders, because you have new customers, you have new followers. You might never know that they just actually want to try a piece, but you haven't been opening up orders, and they haven't had the opportunity to do so, to order from you. So you might never know. Then I wasn't hoping a lot on it, but I just like, okay lah, you know what, I have nothing to do anyway now. All the weddings are postponed. So started to take in orders. I announced that I'm officially taking in orders. I was doing bake sales. And then the response came in. Like, people kept buying and buying and buying and buying and buying. So I didn't have any self-collection after, I think, after the 10 people rule was announced. Yeah, because I thought, like, you know what, I don't want to risk it. I don't want people to go out just to collect my pavlovas. No.
Just to ask, you know, because of all this debacle that happened for the past few days, there's this stirring going on, and it went viral and stuff, right? For you, how, you know, when the advisories or when the guideline comes from HDB, what do you understand from it? How does it apply to your business?
I was getting different screenshots though, because they said at first, okay, so I was sent two different screenshots. The first one, what I understood from it is that we could still continue our home business, and all we had to do was source for a third party delivery to do delivery. Yeah, right. That was the first screenshot that I was sent. Then I think I'm not sure if HDB updated their guidelines, because to be honest, like, all I relied on was the screenshot. And for me, when I entered the HDB website, I got like very confused by all the information. I was a bit overwhelmed. So I actually asked my cousin to help me with it, because my cousin works in facility. She handles like town council, HDB stuff before.
Right.
So she assured me that this is the ruling. It's still allowed. But after that, I think when HDB changed their guidelines, they said that we can still, I remember reading this, we can still continue operations, but we are not allowed, we have to follow the guidelines, which is people cannot come to our place. I remember that, people cannot come to our place. If we have like staff, people working for us, they cannot come to our place, they have to work from home. Yeah, and then the last one is we cannot hire delivery also. So you get what I mean? Like, when I read that, right, that was the latest one that I read. We have to follow these guidelines. If you cannot have people collecting their bakes, and you cannot source for third party delivery to send out your bakes, then how does the bakes go out? You get what I mean? But they never said, officially, they never said stop operation.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So that was like a grey area. And to me, I was very frustrated, because to me, right, if you want us to stop, just tell us to stop. Like today lah, when the article came out. So there's a clear ruling, so that everyone will know whether we need to stop or don't need to stop. But when you put the guidelines in that way, you cannot have self-collection, but you also cannot have delivery. Then, in a way, you are telling us to stop, right? But I still remember reading, you don't have to cease operations if you are following the guidelines.
Yeah.
So I don't, huh?
It
I'm
seems
just like,
to,
huh? What are they saying?
yeah, there seems to be
Yeah,
like a lot of confusion, like about what you can and cannot do. They're not really outrightly saying things, yes or no, cannot. So I think that's, from my understanding, I
Yes.
think that's the like, what? So what do we want to do now? Like,
Yes.
the article that you're referring to is the Berita Harian one, is it?
Yes. The Berita Harian one.
Oh,
A
interesting.
lot of people. Yeah. So,
Because from I mean, just to share, just from our POV, that article was not very well written, because
It
it
is.
said, it said different things. The headline said that you cannot, but inside the article it's not really blatantly saying that you absolutely cannot. It's the same thing where they say like, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, you can only do it if you do this, then that's it. So there's no actually yes or no. It's just a headline. Yeah.
Sorry. Maybe because my Malay is so horrible, so I didn't understand.
Yeah, it's
it
okay.
that
Mine too, but yeah.
Yeah, mine too
But
as
you
well.
know, all you see, but all you see is the headlines, right? I mean, that's the thing with news lah.
Yeah.
I mean, all you see are the headlines. If you get someone who cannot read or something, and then they just not cannot read lah. I don't know lah. Some people, they just skim through the article, and then
Correct.
all they see are the headlines first. So they're gonna think, oh, we cannot operate anymore. They're not even gonna read the article itself. They're just gonna
That's
see
true.
the headline, like, okay, that's it. Like, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, maybe I need to read again.
Yeah, because the content of the article states that if you follow the guidelines, you don't have to cease operations.
Yeah, that's the gist of it.
Yeah, and it's
But
totally
what are the guidelines?
like what you mentioned just now, the three things. Cannot pick up, customers cannot pick up. Number two, you cannot get a third party delivery. Number three, your business has to be solely communicated online. Yeah.
See, like, it's a bit, I mean, I have that one guideline already. And I have 2 out of 3 of the guidelines. How am I supposed to get my big out if I can't source out a third party delivery person? Correct or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, so might as well you just tell us to stop, right? I mean, officially.
The other thing I would probably think is if you already have someone in your household who is really can or maybe prepared to do the delivery for you, then you don't have to engage a third party courier, to do your delivery. So I'm thinking if it's a business run by husband and wife, for example, and then the husband has a car or a van or a motorbike, for example. So the husband can do the delivery for the business.
Yeah, actually that's true.
Yeah, because
Wow, I never thought of that.
because it only states that you cannot engage third party delivery.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think
you can take advantage of that.
Rent a car.
Yeah. Blue SG, girl. Blue SG.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I should tell Hadi about this. I'm sure he'll be very thrilled.
The thing is, people just the thing is that I think sometimes when you are, like, for example, when you're in a panic or you are just desperate to find a piece of information, right? You just take things as they are without really looking into them and seeing how you can not say manipulate your way around, but actually you because a lot of people just read it and then take it and then okay lah, can lah, they don't really look deeper and see actually what does this mean, Yeah.
Actually, but to be honest, I feel that for the past few days, a lot of people are trying to find a loophole. Really, a lot of people. But the first person I've heard found a loophole is honestly Khai. So I can't just spread it around with my friends.
Whoops.
Habis later Khai become viral.
Yeah,
No lah.
I will take over that. What's her name? I don't know what's her name.
I don't know. I also don't know. I don't want. Wait, what's the name? Ika or something like
Oh,
that.
is it?
Yeah.
Speaking of that whole thing, right? Like what do you like? What is the one thing? Okay, let me just ask you first. Like when you watched or read the reports about this person's video lah. Like how did it make you feel? Were you like disappointed, frustrated? Were you like lost? Or how do you take that like form of help or help air quote that she was trying to provide?
Okay. When I first watched that video, of course, as a home baker, I felt like, why are you trying to disturb us? Why are you trying to disturb our, what they call it, period nasi? Yeah. And I get where she's coming from. See, I told you I'm gonna see. I can see it two ways, right? So I get where she's coming from because, on one hand, if let's say right, I'm working from home, then my husband is an essential worker. What if what if like anything happens to him? He comes home, it will affect me, and because I work from home, it affects the place where I make my bakes. Correct?
Yeah.
And I send it out. So to other households. So in a way, I kind of see her point because we work from home. There's no, because for shops, right, authorities can just come in and do their checks. I've seen it before. I was like buying donuts at like bakery or something, and then I saw like the officers at the social distancing enforcers or something like that. Like they just straight away, they just straight away tell the cashier something in Chinese, and then they went to the kitchen straight away to check if they were wearing masks and gloves and everything. So I was like, wow, like nowadays you can just walk in with like street. So okay lah. I mean I understood that. So for home bakers, like how can they possibly do that? Because you don't even know where the home baker is in the first place unless you have their address.
Right.
Yeah. So I sort of understand her point with regards to cross contamination and you're sending your bricks out there and everything. How is this going to help, especially with this COVID-19 situation? Because if everybody wants this to be over as soon as possible. Correct, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So, I mean, I saw her point in that. But at the same time, as a home baker, because I know that a lot of home bakers, they actually invest in, because they decided, they know already that this is what they want to do, especially for mothers, single mothers, or anyone who really intends to stay home because they have children or something, right? So what they do is, I know some of them have been to food hygiene courses.
Right.
Like they are actually certified. Yeah, so when you have that cert, you are in a way certified to handle food properly and with care. They teach you how to store food properly, so there's no cross contamination in your storage of your ingredients and everything. Yeah, so most of them are really certified with food handling. So how they handle at home is up to them lah. Because to me, if you are certified, I trust that you have the knowledge on how to handle food properly already, even if it's in your own home. Yeah, so I mean sometimes when I see people have that cert, I feel more convinced. Like okay, like maybe they are more credible. Yes, that's the word, credible.
Right.
Then when she came in and said all that, I'm like, some people they invested in this cert and then they invested in registering their home businesses. They actually made the time and put in all the effort to make their home businesses legitimate. So why, like now that this has happened, I feel very sad for them lah. I feel very a bit angry also because nobody likes having their business affected. And from the tone of the video, even though I know she has good intentions, but like, with that call and everything and the way she asked and all, I don't know, I just feel like, what they call it, settle, I don't know lah, macam palto lah, kira kan, like, no, not
Tattletale, is it?
condescending. Yes, tattletale. She was trying to, I don't know, it looked like that. It really looked like that.
But she's just trying to tell on you lah, to the authorities.
Yeah, because before that, MTI already said that it's fine for home businesses to continue, for home bakers also. And then it looked like as if she was trying to hook her way around and influence people or like government bodies to actually say, you should stop this, because like if you don't stop this, all these things can happen, like cross contamination and so on and so forth. Yeah. So I felt two ways about it. I understand where she's coming from, but at the same time, maybe it's the way she did it. Maybe it's the way, like the way she the IGTV,
approach.
the way,
Maybe it's just the approach that she did.
Cannot also blame all these people who goes hard on her, because again, it's really stirring whatever source of income that these people are getting. And these people who gets their income could be someone who needs to bring the bacon every week,
Yeah.
And
correct.
And if these kind of things are stopping them, of course everyone will just go berserk.
Yeah, and it's I guess it's something very I was sharing just now also, that it's quite cultural of Singaporean Malays to do macam, there's so many even like older generation, they still make like traditional kuih from home, like my mom orders her favorite, there's like she orders from her favorite like home baker also, like all of these traditional kuih. So it's a normal thing in our culture. Do you think it would have been even more palatable if that video was done by a fellow home baker?
Yes, I think it would have been, because there's this like, what's that Malay peribahasa, berat bahu memikul. I don't know.
Berat lagi.
I only know berat.
Berat mata memandang, berat lagi bahu yang memikul. Oh my god.
Oh, I only know. I only know berat bahu pasal banyak dosa.
Apa saja dia
Wow. No. Astagfirullah, Ramadan ni. Okay. But yeah, so firstly, because of that peribahasa, if the video came from another home baker, it probably would have been like, oh, she's also a home baker, so she understands what I'm going through, but all she's trying to do is let us know that it is not allowed, and she's trying to save us from being reported or anything or fined ke apa kan. But another way it could go also is, you and your business, your pasal lah. Like, why you want to disturb every other business for what? If you want to stop, your problem lah. You might never know, It can go that way also.
That's
like,
true.
The whole mata merah concept.
Correct.
But I feel maybe it would have been better if a home baker did the video or something, or came with that information. Because before this, all my sources, when all this fiasco happened, actually a lot of my baker friends were texting me, and we were updating each other of the progress. Like, hey, now they say can, now they say cannot, now they say can, now they say cannot. What are you gonna do? Actually, all the home bakers, because we are friends lah within the community. There are like we have some sort of friendship, and we are updating each other. We are constantly checking on each other. This morning alone, I think like 3-4 of them already like texted me with the article, screenshot of the article, and asked me like, are you doing okay? What are you gonna do? Yeah, so yeah, it's really hard to say. It would have been better, because now also a lot of people are saying, what, she's an artist, right? And like, who are you to come in and say all these things? Yeah.
Okay, Wahida, thank you very much for staying with us. This has been probably the longest phone call I have ever since my dating days.
Hey.
Oh my god, it's 40 minutes. Crazy, man.
Okay, last one. Before we end off the call, just wanted to ask you, do you have any words of wisdom or encouragement for your fellow followers, your customers, and also your fellow bakers.
And to whoever's listening to this
Yeah.
podcast episode.
To my mom, I love you, no lah. Okay, firstly, I think the highlight of everything is that people actually came to me, and be it my family, my friends, they say despite everything, despite whatever decision you make, amidst all this chaos, know that Allah itu ada. Yeah. Macam-macam
But it's true lah.
Yeah, it is true.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's true. He will
Provide.
You know, it's one way to look. Yeah, it's one way to look at it. He will provide. He will help you, and he will help you through this difficult time. I hope he helps all of us. You know,
Inshallah.
I just hope that every home baker out there, they don't get so disheartened. I know it may cause panic to some because, like Khai said, I used to have Pavlova classes, right? And the students that I taught, they were mostly housewives. They were mostly like single mothers and all, who wanted to find another source of income to provide for their children, for their families. So I know of some home bakers who, a very close example is my sister's mother-in-law. She has a thriving home business. So she bakes like kuih makmur and everything every year during Raya lah. So she's also affected, and she has 7 children to provide for. I mean, some are married already, but yeah, she has a big family to provide for. So I feel even more sad for them actually, that, you know, all this don't know what to do next. If they really have to cease operations, I don't know how they are going to find money. But at the end of the day, when everything looks so dark, I would say that my faith has kept me intact. So for the past few days, even though I've been having anxiety and everything with all the changing information, I've always told myself it's okay, like Allah will provide. And I'm usually someone very realistic, because in business, you have to be realistic. You have to have solid plans and everything, you know, alternative plans and so on for rainy days. Yeah,
All right.
that's all.
Thank you very much, Wahida, for all those inspiring words that you have to share or can share with all your fellow home baker community.
And everyone.
And everyone else who's together in this very, very weird situation that we are living in currently.
I mean, check us out. We're actually recording ourselves.
Yeah.
Like,
By disclaimer, I do not speak for every home baker, okay? I think everyone has their own opinions on this.
Sure.
Yeah, for
This is
sure,
just my
for sure.
perspective.
Okay. Thank you again, Wahida, for being together with us in this episode, this special episode that we are going to be releasing probably tonight or tomorrow.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Wahida.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Wow.
That has
So,
been
yep.
an intense.
It's very insightful actually,
Yeah.
to listen to all the people who are in
The current
current
affected, right?
situation.
They're affected, yeah.
The ones who are affected. Because the ones that we think of are the ones that we can see or feel or think about, you know, and it's not really the real deal. So when you have the bakers themselves coming in and talk about their side of the story, it poses an entire new perspective altogether,
Yeah.
which I find really, really both inspiring and sad at the same time.
Yeah. And it's very insightful also, because all this while we only see what we see on the net and what people have to say, but we never really see or hear from where are their pain points exactly. And just to reiterate, like whatever the bakers today who have shared with us, these are just they are just sharing with us their plights, their thoughts and their own perspectives on things, and it is not representative of all of the baker community or the home baker community in Singapore. So just bear that in mind.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm just very grateful that they were willing to share with us their thoughts and opinions about it, because coming from us is just from us, but it's coming from people who are in that community. It's
different.
It's different.
Yep. Before we wrap this up, I just want to say that I really, really hope the home bakers, they don't cease their operations. They still continue what they are doing, because let's just face it, like what Wahida was sharing, you know, people still want to have dessert orders or home cooked food that they cannot do at home, because either they are too busy doing work from home and taking care of their kids, probably, I don't know. And there's always a good thing if these kind of services are still existing. I really hope that these options are still available, that we can order whenever we can order with all these home bakers or home cooks.
I hope that authorities will, still allow home bakers and home cooks and all that to still continue on. I think in this period, we need to help people as much as we can. And I think this is a good avenue for us to help because like what just now we said about the whole cycle. So
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
fingers crossed. Hopefully, this just doesn't get blown out out of proportion, and our home bakers can still operate. So our recommendation is press on, hope for the best, keep yourselves in check, make sure that you're okay, and reach out to your fellow friends and family if you need people to talk to about it.
Yeah, or your fellow home bakers community, Yeah, they are always there. I mean, you guys are in this together. So you know what you guys are actually going through every single day.
Yeah. So just keep your hopes up.
Yep,
We don't give up. We will constantly pray that you guys can still continue whatever you're doing, and we hope that the authorities will also support you guys.
Yep. And if you're still selling, I'm buying.
Yeah, just hit us up on Instagram.
Yeah.
Ken?
Okay, guys, that's a wrap for this episode, which focuses more on home bakers and all the turmoils and the debacle that they've been going through for the past few days. I hope you have enjoyed it.
And we hope that you found it insightful as well. Please give words of encouragement to your favorite home bakers. We know you all have them. Just give them words of encouragement because they really need it right now.
Yeah. And if they are still selling, if they are not ceasing their operations, continue to purchase from them, to buy from them, to support them.
Yeah. All right. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today.
This is Khai.
And this is Tiara on another episode of
Tay Talk. So remember to purchase from them always.
Yeah, support them. Okay.
Buy your cakes, buy your desserts.
Yeah, and don't forget to puasa.
Yes. Don't do half day puasa. Go full day.
Yes, you can do it. We believe
Don't
in you.
puasa. Yo.
ASMR.
ASMR.